What is going on, guys? It is me, your boy John with Grand Exploration, and welcome to another episode of The Build. And on this episode, man, I'm excited. I'm excited because, well, let me start off by saying this video is brought to you by Gobi. Gobi Racks has sent us a beautiful, brand new stealth rack for the Granite Grand, and she is sitting up there now, along with that awesome Baja Designs light bar. Cop that from the homie 570 John. Go check him out on Instagram as well as YouTube. And man, she is everything I want and more. She's sleek, she's sturdy, you can stand on this thing. She's completely bolt-on, you do not have to screw into your rack. What's even more better is she's simple. Few easy steps and this rack is up on your WK2 or whatever rig you got, because they make these racks for all sorts of rigs. So this video is all about me showing you how to install this simple to do rack, and let's jump into it. If you haven't hit subscribe, please smack that subscribe button. I really appreciate it. And let's dive in. All right, so first step is to get rid of these side rails. All right, you have one,
that ain't going.
2, 3, and 4 T27, but Gobi also supplies you a tool, and you're just going to start pulling these up all the way down on both sides. And then once you have all those bolts out of the side rail, you're literally just going to shift it down and she comes right up. And now we'll get rid of all this dirt and grime. We'll clean her down really good and then we'll move to the next step. All right, so Gobi does a nice job of organizing everything for you and wrapping up everything separate the way you're going to use it, almost like in the steps you're going to use it. We have our ladder right here with the packet in there for the ladder and all the accessories for the ladder. We have each side rail. Each one of those parts goes on at a different time, and we'll go through that. You got your baggies that are all labeled with all the nuts and bolts and everything you need, and brackets, and this very extensive instruction manual. So let's do it. All right, Chris is over there a couple steps ahead of us. We are going to go to the second step here, and you're going to grab this rod here. I'll put the letter of what part this is up in the corner, and it has 3M tape at 3 points.
That is piece H.
Okay, Chris says it's piece H. All right, but what we want to do before we get that done is we are going to run some rubbing alcohol down this rubber strip. So let's do that. All right, got some rubbing alcohol on the rag. Go ahead and rub her down. All right, so before we lay this strip down, Gobi says to measure from the back up to this first one. You should measure 3 1/4 inches from the back to this bolt here. 3 1/4 inches, and then tape it off. For this piece, it's going to run over your rubber liner. Like I said before, it's part H. Now mine comes with a hole on this end. I'm not quite sure what it's for. Chris thinks it might be drainage or something. In the instructions it doesn't say which way it should face. If it is for drainage, I'm just going to face it towards the rear, and everything seemed to fit good on the other side. So go ahead and lift. Go ahead and lift all these little pieces of red. All right, we've laid the strip down. all the way down. On to the next step. All right, now you're going to take part J with the brackets. And you're going to wedge them under these. So you're just going to shift them forward. Like so. And the way you know you have the right side is at the rear it's going to say RP. So this is rear passenger.
There.
The brackets are more faced towards the rear. And the wrong one won't line up properly anyway. All right, next step. Now we're going to take part I, which is this thin piece here with these holes. Boom. And we are going to just lay it over. And it's going to lay over just like that. All right. Perfect. And don't worry about this. That'll be pinned down under the weight of everything. All right, so we're going to grab this big washer here. You're going to grab a coned washer with the black pad under it, a locking washer, and this bolt here. And you're going to put them together, and it's going to look like this. And you're going to go ahead and stick them on all 5 holes. Now, on the driver's side rear, which like this one, but on that side, it didn't have threads. I don't know what's up, but I can't get the bolts to thread through. So we're gonna see how this ends up when it's all said and done. Hopefully there's enough weight on it right now to go to the expo, but when I get back, we're definitely gonna have to figure out a solution to that. So, all right, go ahead and bolt down. Also, use the supplied anti-seize on all your bolts. Cool. All right, I don't recommend using an impact on this. I'm just gonna start it and be real gentle, but if you're unsure, use the tools that Gobi supplied. Bam. And, or if you got your own, but don't use an impact. Just one little ugga-dugga, then I'll go back and tighten it with this guy. So right now you should be looking like this. And now we'll bring the rack up on top, and I'll show you the rest here in a second. Now, one thing I forgot to do, and I would encourage you to do, is leave all your brackets somewhat loose. Just kind of like hand tighten a little bit. That way you can maneuver things around as you need to get them to fit properly. So we got the rack sitting on the top now. Now it's time to fasten this down. So what you're going to need to mount to these brackets is 1 bolt, 2 washers, and one of these little rubberized pads. And what you need to do is actually, you have to sandwich it between the top piece here and the bottom piece. So like this, just kind of lift up and slide it in between and sandwich it so that the holes line up. And then you'll stick your bolts through just like this, washer on top and a washer on the bottom with the nut on the bottom to screw tight. All right, so she is all mounted up, but she is still loose. Everything is still a little bit loose. And now you got the front. Now these brackets, they don't attach at the base. They just kind of sit there as support. So you're gonna put them up under, just like that. And then we're going to do the same technique of sandwiching a rubber gasket in between this bracket and the lower piece. And you're going to take that bolt and 2 washers and a nut, a nylock nut, and tighten them down. All right. Roof rack is mounted. There's the front brackets. That's how that should look. Now just go ahead and tighten them all down. and then we'll move on to the wind deflector. All right, we're on to the windscreen installation. Go ahead and start with the middle bracket, and it's going to be about, you want it to be about 2 inches out or so, and then these side ones, try to suck them in as far as you can. It's going to look weird at first, and you're going to be like, how is this windscreen supposed to fit? Because it's flat, but it will bend. So, and then once you tighten everything up, she'll start forming, and it'll make sense. So I took one of these guys, put it there, followed by a plastic washer, and then on the back side another plastic washer and a nylock nut. Also, Gobi supplies this like a vinyl or a wrap that kind of will stick down here, and that will keep the windscreen from kind of causing abrasions on your paint. I do not have time to put that on right now, but I'm going to put that on later. If you guys have questions about doing that, feel free to ask and I will show you. But we got to get this ready for the expo tomorrow, so I'm in a rush. So let's get this windscreen on. All right, so you should be looking like this right now. She's still pretty straight, but what you're going to do is, with all of these loose, now you can push the ends all the way in as far as you can, tighten it down from there, do the same on the other side, and then adjust the middle as you need. Make sure you tighten them on this side too. I almost forgot. All right, guys, we're almost there. It is now time for the ladder. Come up to the top, and we are going to measure 7 inches from here, from there to here, and then tape it off. All right. That is where this plate, which will wedge between your tailgate, it's going to be just like that. All right. Now, before you do anything, go ahead and clean this area off, and I'm going to hit it with some alcohol, and then you have 3M strips to peel off in the back. But I'm not going to do that just yet. I'm going to test fit this thing. We're going to go ahead and throw the ladder up there. Make sure everything's lined up good. All right. She's sitting like that. So now what you'd want to do is go ahead and tape off where the ladder is, where you think it fits nicely, and then grab a level. I don't have a level with me today, so I am praying and hoping and having trust in myself. But you can stick the level right here and make sure it's level, right where it should be, and then we can proceed with mounting the bracket. But go ahead and, once you find that level, stick a little bit of tape down here so you know where the ladder was, just in case it shifts later, and you'll know where to go back, and then we'll mount the bottom bracket. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and tape right here. I'm gonna make it just a little bit longer than I need so that it will show on the other side, and I'll show you what I mean in a second. But I'll let a little tail kind of hang down here. All right, she's cleaned off. I'm gonna line this up. It's about right. I'm a little off from the tape, but not too far. Smash that thing down. Now we're gonna move to the bottom piece. So now I'll take the ladder back off, set it to the side. I'm gonna open the hatch. So this is where I marked off the ladder, but now we've opened the tailgate and we have that little bit of tape hanging off. That way I can see where I'm gonna put my mounting bracket. It's gonna start right there. Here's the bottom bracket. You have this little aluminum bracket that's taped to the underbelly of it. Go ahead and pull that out. It has 3M on the other side of it. And this is basically, well, not basically, is going to go right there on the underside of your tailgate. So go ahead and clean that off with some rubbing alcohol. We have our pinch plate on the back here. Started it right at the tape. She's stuck on. Now what we'll do, close the tailgate, and we're going to now clean this area off with some rubbing alcohol. All right, now we go ahead and put our ladder back on. This is the part where you hope you got everything lined up perfectly, because now we are going to take the adhesive off the back of the ladder.
How you guys doing?
Good, how are you?
Good.
We have to leave for the Overland Expo Thursday morning.
Where it's gonna be?
But once we let that kind of stick on there, we're gonna put our pinch bracket. So we'll do that in just a second. All right, so you'll see at the bottom of your ladder you have some screws, some bolts coming out. Go ahead and take those out. Looks like these might be a T27, or a T27 might just barely be big enough. It's working. Remember, we're going to use anti-seize on everything we bolt on here. Now we're going to take our pinch bracket, and this is where we hope everything lines up the way it's supposed to, because if it doesn't, well, I'm screwed. You still got a shot to get it right. All right, so I'm bringing the bottom plate, I'm bolting it to the ladder so they are flush with one another. Scared me for a second because it seemed like there was too much of a gap, but it looks like she's cleaning herself up. We're gonna come behind. We're gonna screw down these pinch nuts and pinch it to that back pinch plate. I gotta see what size those are. Looks like maybe a 10. All right, so we have the pinch bracket here. These are oddly a 12 mil. Huh. Okay. So we'll tighten those two down. It's nice and snug. All right, now we will secure the top of the ladder. We're going to go ahead and put a coned washer with the black pad on it. Down. And once you got that coned washer down, you're going to put a locking washer on there. And then go ahead and follow it up with a nut. Do that on both sides and then tighten them down. Alright, and these nuts are a 13 mil. Alright, sorry guys, it's getting a little dark out here. Alright, so the last piece to the bottom of the ladder is part D. It's like a little bracket here. It bolts into the bottom on these holes right next to the main bolts. Take a screw, which is a Phillips head, a washer on the screw, run it through the bracket, and then add another washer and the nut. What'd I tell you? I told you could stand on it. Look, man, this rack is awesome. This is the Stealth Rack by Gobi for the WK2, and I think this is going to be my rack for a lifetime. Next, we're throwing the rooftop tent on this, but easy installation, strong rack, great product. Couldn't be more happy. Big shout out to Gobi for sending this over, and I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, never hesitate to DM me on Instagram at grand_exploration. And yeah, guys, that's it. Like always, I love you. Peace.